And as we settle in, friends, this first practice that I'll be guiding us through is a practice I learned from the psychiatrist Dan Siegel. We're going to do the Wheel of Awareness practice together. But before we do that, let's really take a few minutes to arrive in our physical bodies, noticing where you are grounded. You may do any of these practices seated or standing or lying down. I generally close my eyes while I'm guiding a practice because it allows me to really tune inward. But offer yourself whatever you need. So noticing where you're grounded, where you're safe, noticing what feels stable. Noticing your alignment, inviting in that posture of dignity, the physical presence of relaxed alertness. And remembering, friends, that it is so normal to have a wandering mind, particularly when we're doing something new. And if there's a vibration of a little uncertainty, just trust that that wandering mind or that vibration of uncertainty is so normal. So remember, we're cultivating curiosity and compassion. You might settle into the breath. Breath is another anchor, meaning it's a sense of awareness that can bring us back to the moment. With curiosity and compassion, just noticing anything that your body or your mind or your heart might be communicating with you right now in this moment, and allowing it to be. Whatever is here today, friends, belongs. It is here. This too belongs. Opening our hearts and minds and sensations to allow whatever is to be. Coming back again and again to this present moment. Now I'm going to transition us with this invitation to join me on this journey of the wheel of awareness. If you personally feel like you need a silent practice for the next 20 minutes, feel free to mute me and offer yourself that gift of silent, self-guided practice. If you're curious about joining me for this wheel of awareness, I invite you now to imagine a wheel. We all know what wheels look like. They have a hub in the center, and this hub is essentially the center of our awareness. So this is the sense of knowing and bringing awareness to the objects which are known. So this wheel is divided into 4 sections, and we will be systematically moving our attention through these different sections. So the rim of the wheel is where we are directing our attention outward from this hub of knowing. And just so you have a sense of where we're going with this practice today, the first section is dedicated to our 5 physical senses. I will systematically guide us through each of those 5 senses. The second, when we move to past the first spoke to the second section, it is dedicated to the 6th sense of what we call interoception, inner seeing. Again, I will make this very clear when we reach that. The third section is dedicated to the senses of thinking, the mental senses, thinking, planning, worrying, feeling. And then the final section is the sense of interconnectedness. So each of these, as we move through this wheel of awareness, is an opportunity for us to bring these attitudes of curiosity, what am I noticing, non-judgmentally, and compassion. If there is suffering that arises, we meet it with this kind heart. All right. Okay, friends. So if it feels right for you to join me on this wheel of awareness practice, we're first going to begin with the sense, the physical sense of hearing. So from this hub of the wheel, a sense of knowing, we are knowing that we are hearing. So noticing hearing happening, my voice, of course, but anything else that is near or far in your environment. We are simply bringing curiosity and a noticing to hearing. Hearing is happening. Next, we can invite our attention to shift to smelling. You may notice something, you may not. If there's nothing particularly odorous in your environment right now, but we're simply engaging in the observation and the awareness of the sense of a smell. Next, we invite our awareness to the sense of taste. So bringing awareness to the top of your mouth, your tongue, any taste sensations, remnants from breakfast or coffee or toothpaste. Next, we shift our attention to the sense of seeing. And so you might notice seeing with your eyes closed, or you might gently, slightly open your eyes and simply observe without opinion what you are seeing in your environment, and really see as clearly as you can, simply seeing. Awareness of both seeing and what you are knowing through your seeingness. I don't think that's a word, seeingness. And lastly, in this first section of our wheel of the 5 physical senses, lastly, we'll notice the sense of touch. So allowing your eyes to gently close again if they had opened. And now tuning into the sense of touch, the contact of clothing on your body, perhaps hands touching something, some part of your body, feet touching the floor, just awareness of any touch sensations. Next, we're going to move to the sense of interoception, inner seeing. And friends, those of us in this space know very well the sensations, for example, of a low blood sugar. So that's a great example of that inner seeing, that sensation of something happening inside our body. Hunger is an example of interoception, fullness. The need to relieve ourselves to go to the bathroom is interoception, muscles aching, twinging, etc. So with interoception, friends, we're going to do basically a quick body scan where we're sensing the interior experiences of our organs, our cells, our fascia, our nervous system, etc., our endocrine system, as much as we can sense it. So beginning with your sensations on your face. Sometimes we hold tension in our face, our scalp, our jaw. So non-judgmentally, remember, curiosity and compassion, noticing your face, feeling the face from the inside. And if there's anything that can be relaxed, even just 5% more ease, offering that to yourself, that is an act of compassion. Noticing your scalp, top of your head, back of your head, the area around your ears. Noticing your neck, perhaps gently rotating your head a little bit if there's any neck tension. Acting compassionately to create ease for yourself in your physical body now. Noticing your shoulders, noticing energy and sensations in each of your arms, elbows, wrists, hands. Noticing blood flow, nervous system communication. Bringing attention to your chest and your upper back. Here you might notice rising and falling with your breath. Noticing any sensations of the respiratory system in your heart center. Anything musculature from the back of the body. Scanning down into the abdominal region, our core, noticing perhaps digestion, curiosity and compassion ever present. Noticing lower back, noticing pelvic floor, noticing gravity supporting your seat if you are seated, your feet if you are standing. Noticing the attention moving down through each of your legs, your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, your feet. Scanning out just a bit, almost taking the lens of this interoceptive awareness and pulling back a little bit and noticing the body in its entirety. Sensing into this inner seeing from this hub of awareness. The whole body. Moving to the next section of our wheel here, this mental activity. So now we shift our awareness past that spoke to mental activity. Oftentimes in meditation, we are encouraging ourselves or being encouraged to come back from mental activity, let it go and come back to the breath, come back to the body. We're doing the opposite here, friends. Now we're just inviting it all. Any and all mental activity, emotions, beliefs, memories, worries. Sometimes what happens is when we invite it all to come, nothing comes. Sometimes a floodgate comes. There's no right or wrong with any of these practices, friends, but we're just going to sit with whatever our minds are doing. And I encourage you with this curiosity to just notice, from where do thoughts come? How do they arise? And how do they pass? How do we engage with our thoughts? our beliefs, our emotions. Can you see the genesis of a thought? How does it appear? Where does it go? And you stay in this hub of awareness, watching thoughts without getting entangled in them, seeing them as clouds in the sky, or seeing them as waves on an ocean. Behind the clouds is always, always, always blue. And underneath the waves is always, always, always stillness if you go down deep enough. So these are two beautiful metaphors to remember the passing nature of our thoughts and our emotions. Taking another 30 seconds or so to be curious about and compassionate with our thinking, our mental activities. And now, friends, moving to the fourth and final section on our wheel of awareness. And this is the sense of connectedness, awareness of our relationships, our connections with others. So we can begin by bringing awareness to each of us here in this meeting. Just a reminder of being here together with Heather and Peter and Tamara and Karen and Liz and Kim and Anne and Elle, Jennifer and Sue, Stephanie and Michael, Janelle and Maureen. Awareness, sensing into this connection that we share. All having chosen to dedicate a very significant portion of our day to being together, supporting each other, being here for ourselves. It's really quite amazing. Sensing into that connection. Perhaps expanding the sense of connection to the greater Sangha, our friends from the Sangha who are not here with us today, by choice or by circumstance. Recognizing the connections we all share. Living with type 1. being curious about these practices to help us relieve suffering. Perhaps sensing into the connectedness of everyone everywhere around the world who lives with any type of diabetes. Sensing into our connections now with our friends, our family, our loved ones. Perhaps our pets, our neighbors, our community. Perhaps sensing into colleagues, fellow volunteers, people you interact with at the grocery store or the bank, on a walk in the neighborhood. Maybe even sensing into the interconnectedness of all humans, past and present, future, ancestors, descendants. Maybe even inviting in the awareness of all sentient beings on this beautiful planet Earth. Hmm. This planet that is like us, resilient, like us, challenged to be well, like us, full of so much beauty and wonder, miracles. Wrapping up this practice of awareness by simply returning to our breath, this spirit of life, this respiratory function that keeps us going, returning to the breath. We're all sharing our inhalation and exhalation here. And friends will be, you have choice here. You always have choice. But we'll be transitioning next into a little stretching break, perhaps a bathroom break. If you're wanting to get a journal or any art materials or a snack, anything that you need, you're welcome to come back to the group, turn your camera on if you wanted to share or ask anything. Or if you'd like to simply transition into a little break, if we could all come back at 6 minutes after the hour. I see it's 1 minute after the hour here. We'll come back together. Oh, I'm going to make it 7 minutes after the hour now. I want to make sure we have our 5 minutes. Are there any questions, friends, first before we take our break? Questions, comments, any difficulties arise in that practice? All right. I'm going to go do a little self-care and some stretching. And I'll see you all back here at 7 minutes after the hour. Thank you.